What's up, y'all? I'm getting ready for deer season. Be just less than 2 months away here in Georgia, and I am getting used to packing everything in on my back and using the saddle system. Be my first year doing it. I had invested in a JX3 after season ended last year and messed around with it a little bit and just wasn't really my cup of tea, so ended up investing in a Tethrd Menace. Come across a post, they're doing a sale actually right now. I keep seeing it on Facebook almost on a daily basis. They're selling the Menace for $100, so if you're wanting to invest in the saddle style of hunting without breaking the bank, I've not been disappointed. It is a bit of a learning curve. I've been hunting out of lock-ons for years, and ladder stands here and there, climbers. I quit hunting out of climbers several years back and got into more of the lock-on style hunting. But I'm actually about to put my setup on this tree. I'm gonna go up on this one. It's got a little bit of a lean out that way, and from what little bit I've been climbing, seems that if the tree's leaning away from you a little bit, kind of makes it a little bit easier with setting stuff up, getting up in there. And then of course I try to find either a cluster of branches when I go up, a big limb that kicks off that I can kind of parallel with it and blend in a little bit better, or 2-3 trees together. There's 3 right here. I can get up there and attach my GoPro to the smaller tree, and then just kind of kick off of this one and, you know, just get a feel for it. That's biggest thing, biggest piece of advice I could give as of now with these saddles, or any saddle, is get in it, climb up in it, take your stuff down, put it back up. You can do like I've got over behind my building. I've got a set of sticks put up where I just climb up and then shoot from. And I'm sitting here in my yard, and I've got the cat coming to say what's up. I've got animals around, so you're gonna hear quail, you're gonna hear chickens. We have a bit of a farm out here, so it's our life out here. Come here. My sticks, I'm using the XOP sticks. Bought these used from a fella on Marketplace, and they're nice. They're extremely lightweight. I had bought the Muddy Pros because it had the rope system, the quick little latch system that they have, and I didn't realize how heavy they were until I got them. And for me, that's definitely something that I wouldn't want to mess with. They're real heavy, and I say mess with as far as I don't want to carry that in for a long ways. If I go to public land, I do not want to walk way back into the woods, up and down hills, and have those on my back or on my side. They are extremely heavy. These XOPs, a set of them, they weigh about, I'd be confident to say 4 of these weigh as much as 2 of the Muddy sticks. Muddy sticks are all right, but these, in my opinion, paired with a daisy chain, whole lot better. And they do stick to the tree like people advertise and say. That's pretty cool. I haven't spent a whole lot of time putting these on trees and climbing in and out of the trees with them, but from a little bit of time I have, I like them pretty well. Well, this is one of the first times I've actually gotten in the tree, brought everything up that I would use to hunt minus my backpack. I just didn't really feel like hauling it up here with me. But this is what I would take the quiver off and have another one of my clips probably on that side, but this is the first time I've actually looked for a tree that I would hunt out of, and I'm sure I'm not the only one, but it's always ironic. The perfect tree to hunt out of is always in your yard or somewhere you can't hunt. Used to, we would hunt out here before the house was built, but now it's just where I'll climb up, and I'll probably use this as my practice tree. But you can see this tree right here behind me, I'm actually leaning against it. And you think about it, if you're in the woods hunting and you've got a tree to lean against, you've just added concealment to your setup. And as long as you're not bouncing around up here, I mean, having your back against this, these deer are not going to pick out, well, they shouldn't pick out your legs, because that's the only thing not against this tree, and they're pretty darn close to it. I could be OCD about it and put my feet against the tree in front of me, and then it just, yeah. Which actually adds to some comfort to it, but this is not a bad setup. These Tethrd Menace saddles, they're really not that bad. It's not the most comfortable thing I've ever sat in, but I've also heard that upgrading the bridge helps with adjustments, and having a longer bridge helps with the pinch points and everything. I can definitely see why this would be considered a sitting saddle. Did some adjustments to it and had my knees against the tree, and it's definitely a comfortable saddle. It's not uncomfortable at all. I could see myself sitting in the tree for a long time. Of course, with the way that this tree is, I would have my adjustments to where I could lean against the tree and kind of go into a sitting position as well and still have my back against the tree. But as far as being content, it's nice. It's a definitely a good starting point. Might add some tree aiders, that way I can get up a little bit higher. It's not exactly as high as I like to be. I might be around 18 feet. 15 to 18 feet, I'd say, is probably how high I am, and I'm definitely accustomed to going 20 plus. When I'd put up a lock on, there was a lot of times I would take an extra 10-foot stick or screw in steps, something, and go even higher. There were times where I used an old 15-foot ladder stand, wanted to hunt that tree, but I took 20 foot worth of climbing sticks, climbed up into the ladder stand, pulled the climbing sticks up with me, strapped them to the tree, and then continued on up. So I was about 35 feet up, and made other people nervous when they saw exactly what I was doing and how high I would go. But in that particular spot, I never got busted. I was never seen, I was never smelled, and had a opportunity at a really big buck, but it just didn't work out. I was trying out a product called Evercalm and Everspook. That's all I got to say about it, Everspook, because that deer stopped about 40 yards from where I had crossed a creek and walked to my stand, and the wind was blowing right in his face from where I had walked in, and he was straight behind me. I was facing, well, obviously if he was straight behind me, I was facing that way. But anyways, the wind was hitting me straight in the left shoulder, and he was straight behind me. The wind didn't swirl, and that was where I was up 35 feet. Wind hitting me right in the left shoulder, He's standing right behind me, facing exactly where I walked up the hill and come to my stand. Stood there for about 5 minutes, just intently staring where the wind was coming from. Blew one time and then ran off at an angle, and then blew 2 more times, and that was it. I never did get a good look at his headgear, but just the posture of the deer, the body language of the deer, the color of him, everything. When you see a 4-year-old deer, 3.5, 4, 5-year-old deer, you can tell one look. So I do not use EverCalm. I'm sure it's worked for others, but that was my experience, and it got thrown out the truck window that day. Or maybe not that day, but at some point I found it in the truck, and I definitely threw it out of the window. My confession for littering. Anywho, I think I'm gonna get down, but I think I need to move my platform around the tree the way that it seems to settle. Seemed like it wanted me to kind of swing around the other way. But yeah, this would definitely be a setup I would look for in the woods. Leaned against this tree and just, I could get up here, and I feel comfortable enough with my platform. I use a Cruise R Phantom. I'm turned completely around, and I mean, the fact that I could shoot 360, that's pretty cool. A lot of folks talked about their weak side and having issues. That's why I wanted a bigger platform, so I could do that. Being used to hunting out of lock-ons and maybe not having the biggest platform, it's not a learning curve for me. Oh yeah, I could shoot 300. I could shoot 360 degrees. Without a problem. You just would probably move a whole lot slower. Well, I'm sure the light's fading. I decided to come out here in the afternoon hoping to catch the cooler part of the day. I've got to get down, feed animals. I'm sure you can hear the quail in the background going berserk. I raise Japanese Coturnix quail and make a whole lot of pickled quail eggs. Used to do it full time as a business before good old COVID. Anywho, y'all like, subscribe. I'm just getting into this thing, and God willing, I'll be around from time to time, share some testimonies, and got a lot of them. God's definitely walked me through a whole lot in life and continues to do so, and He is the potter and we are the clay. We're to share that with other people too. Share that love, share what He's done. It may very well be what somebody needed to hear so that they can start their journey with Him as well and come to know Him and be known by Him. Y'all have a blessed day. Tight lines, steady aim. We'll see y'all later.